But part 3 of the kvCORE training, we're going to be talking about using squeeze pages and landing pages. So now that we've been able to get the idea of how to create a campaign and what campaigns look like and what the components of the campaign are, we can start to think about how we can drive traffic to our website and create the leads, and then land in these different automations that we have that we can now create fairly easily. So what we're going to talk about is how to and how to use these squeeze pages and landing pages and what they actually are. So we're going to drive the traffic to the kvCORE website, and then we're going to capture the lead. Based on the source of the lead, we can have it perform automations around where the lead came from, what type of lead came in, right? So we know if it's a buyer lead coming in, a seller lead coming in. We know how to do that by using the hashtags that we discussed last week. So we can either have the hashtag automatically assigned, or we can go in and manually start adding hashtags to the different types of leads so that they get the certain type of automation. So the question is, what are landing pages and squeeze pages? Okay. The difference between a landing page and a squeeze page is that a landing page is just exactly that. It's a single page web page that they land on when they click a link. A squeeze page is something where you force the content that they see. Okay. You can either force them to see one property. It could be your listing. It could be another EXP agent listing or another agent's listing at your brokerage. If you're not with EXP, that you get permission to share. With EXP, we're allowed to share other EXP agents listings without having explicit permission. It's sort of implied because we're with the same brokerage, we can share. Wouldn't hurt to reach out to them and have a conversation with them and make sure that you always, maybe build a relationship with that other agent. Say, hey, do you mind if I promote your listing? But that's the way to go about doing it. So the reasons why you're going to use a squeeze page versus a landing page may differ, and we'll talk about that a little bit when we get into creating some. But the ultimate goal of either of these two types of pages is to capture leads by driving traffic to your site. So you're going to want to make the call to actions on these pages enticing enough and creative enough to be able to pull traffic either from your Facebook page, or I would recommend, because you can boost posts that you make from your Facebook business page. I would highly recommend that you do all of this stuff from your Facebook business page and then maybe share it back to your personal if you want to. And the reason for that is because you're not able to use the paid Facebook boost on posts from your personal page. Okay. So when you're doing any of these squeeze pages, post it to your Facebook business page first, share it back to your personal page so that you capture the audience that you have on because my personal audience on my primary Facebook page is, I don't know, I think I got about maybe 35, maybe 4,000 people that I'm connected with. Obviously, I don't know all those people, but they're people that I've connected with by virtue of connecting to people's connections and things like that. But on my Facebook business page, I think I maybe got 700-800 followers. So it'd be nice to be able to get both audiences into your net. And the other thing is when you post it from your Facebook business page, you can promote it. It takes, you have to pay a little bit of money for Facebook to promote it for you, but then you cast a net to everybody that's in a geographic area for you. And that net can be as wide or as narrow as you want based on how much your spend is. And it doesn't have to be a tremendous amount of spend. You could spend $4 a day for a week. Something that might be the minimum. I think it's $4 a day, but you can spend $100 a day, depending on how aggressively you want to target. And then Facebook will actually tell you how big of an audience you're going to hit and approximate how many Facebook feeds that your ad will land in. And you can do this on the other socials as well, Instagram, LinkedIn. You're just going to be able to post these links. So let's talk about what is a squeeze page. Okay. There are two types of squeeze pages. There's a single property squeeze page, and then there is a multi-property squeeze page. A single property squeeze page is to direct traffic to a very specific listing, yours or somebody else's. So I'm going to open up kvCORE and I'm going to show you where to find the place to create these squeeze and landing pages. Okay. On our main dashboard of kvCORE, you're going to see the lead engine menu item on the left-hand bar. And then you're going to see build landing page, build squeeze page, and then some of the other stuff that we covered before. But we're going to be focusing on building squeeze pages first, and we're going to build a single property squeeze page first. Okay. Now you have multi-property, single property, a seller squeeze, and a market report. Those are the kinds of squeeze pages that you can send traffic to. Each one of them has a different purpose, right? So multi-property is, let's say, you want to say everybody who's looking for property in Maricopa County, or everybody who's looking for property in Scottsdale, or in a certain county, that you tend to focus on. You can isolate it by county. But if you have a single property squeeze page, you're building the squeeze page with just one listing, and you can enter the listing ID or address. So in order to find that, I'm going to do one right now, and I'm going to right mouse click on company listings so that I can open it up in a different tab. Okay. When I do that, I've got a new tab here that's going to show me all of the company listings that I have. Now, let's see here. Oh, these are my listings. I'm just going to go to company listings here. Okay. It's going to pull up everything that's within our MLSs that we're connected with. And ideally, you want to have a pretty good handle if you're going to send out a property squeeze page. If it's not your listing and you're just trying to drive traffic based on something that's going to attract the most buyers, because this is a buyer net that we're going to cast, you want to try to stay in the range of price that is the most popular for what you're trying to do, or for the area that you're trying to do business in. Okay. So even though it may be tempting to go out and just grab this $1.4 million property, and it might generate some traffic for you. And if that's the target market that you have, grab this listing. In my area here, particularly in the zip code that I want to work, the price point is right around 700,000. So I'm going to look for listings that might fall in that range, that are in that area. So usually what I'm doing, if it's not my listing, is I am going to kind of just look at the thumbnail picture and see which of the thumbnail pictures is the most attractive, because that's what's going to show up on the listing link that you send first. It's going to be what really grabs everybody's attention. So let me just take a look at this one, see what we have here. Huh. That's downtown. That's interesting. But that's not my market. So I'm going to go and grab something that's maybe a little closer to the 700,000. Let's see this one here on Roma. Wow. Really, really, really nice interior, but the exterior is not something to jump up and down about. I'm not sure I'm going to grab that one. Let me just try one more, and then I'll just go ahead and shoot.
Dennis, have you tried or can you grab a photo? Can you use a photo from the interior on these pages?
You know, when you boost a post, when you do a property boost, you can select a different photo to have in your property boost. But when you do a squeeze page, you land on almost looks like a landing page to a certain degree. But then when you click on it, it actually goes directly to that property listing, and the first picture they see is just whatever the first picture that the agent showed. So yes, you can do it on Property Boost if you don't like their first page. And the Property Boost through kvCORE is a paid thing where you can pay either 45 or 60 bucks, and kvCORE boosts it on Facebook. But when you do one of these squeeze pages, what they end up seeing essentially is, let me just go to grab one of these here that I like the outside. I'm just going to roll with it. Well, that's a surprise. It's not. I'll show you what the difference is really quickly here. Let's see. Phoenix, it's 1.4, 750. I'm just going to go with this one. It looks okay from the outside on that first picture. Now, it's not that there's a problem with the picture that is going to deter somebody from clicking through, but what we have here. Oh, and by the way, when they click the link, this is what they will actually see when you force them to your squeeze page. They go right directly over to your website's property listing for this home. So that's what they see. So you can't really determine which of the pictures that they land on because it's just going to be whatever the first picture is. Okay. Now, on a property boost, on the other hand, if I was to boost this property, and if I wanted to pay kvCORE, 45 or 60 bucks to actually try to generate traffic in a similar way that we would do if we manually do this on Facebook, it lets me go in and change the image. So if I didn't like this image, I can click down here where it says select new image. And I could say, oh, I really like that one better. And if I use that selected image and I deselect the one, you can actually select up to 5 images that it uses for the boost. And if I say use selected image, this is what the boost is going to look like on Facebook now. It's going to use that image. So you can do it with a property boost. You just can't do it with the squeeze page because they're just going to land right here. Okay. We want them to land here because the moment they start clicking around, it's going to ask them to continue with Facebook, with Google, or punch in their email address and their phone number, and they become a lead. Okay. As you know, and we explained this before, not everybody's going to go through with that. Some people just click out right here and call it a day. But people who are really interested, especially if you've got a property that you're posting that is interesting and it's in the sweet spot for people who are looking, they're going to say, well, show me more. I don't care. And if it's on your personal Facebook page, chances are they know you and trust you already, and they're not feeling spammed out about the fact that you're asking them to just continue with their Facebook. And if they click continue with Facebook, they don't have to click anything else. They can just say, no, let me in, and Facebook will actually share their name and email address with kvCORE. Okay. Property boost, on the other hand, you can do a few things, but 60 bucks a month to get a week worth of promotion. It lets your ad be seen about 2,000 times. They say 12 to 16 contacts come into your database. My experience has been, a year and a half ago, that might have been the case. Right now, it's like 3 to 5, leads will come in. But if you get one good lead out of, a $60 ad spend, what's 60 bucks for one closing? Nothing. So we're going to create this squeeze page using this property. Okay. So it's asking for a listing ID or address. So I'm going to pull the listing ID from here. Let's just see if I can grab it from down here. It's probably just easier for me to type the address. So I'm just going to copy and paste it so I can already see that. There it is. So where are you going to put it? You're going to post it to Facebook. You're going to put it on your Google page. Or where are you going to put it? Just so you have some point of reference. Okay. Putting Facebook. If you already have a hashtag created for these kinds of leads, you can, and if you've already got a campaign built to direct automations towards the kind of lead that you're trying to create, you can put that hashtag in here. Or if you want a specific hashtag for this specific post, you can do that, and then it will hashtag it so that you can go in and assign that hashtag to one of the campaigns that you've created. So let's say, for example, I want this just to get the regular buyer, automation that I have. I'll just put buyer. Or let's say you have an area. You could say, this is 85. What was the zip code here? 85086. Let's say I'm just going for specific buyers in that area. I can say 85086 buyer and create the hashtag on that. Okay. Now here's where you can decide how many property views you want them to be allowed before it forces them to register. 2, which is what you saw me just click through, and then it forced me to register. You can go immediate. And I would never go never. And I would never go. I don't think I'd even go more than 2, because you won't catch the lead if you don't have it set up that way. Okay. So I'm going to just make it immediate, and then you're going to click generate link. Now it makes a short link and a long link, and I'm not exactly sure why they make 2, but my experience has been if, I mean, even though if you can see, I'm going to click on it. It's usually fine to use the short link, but I'm just going to give you guys a blanket statement that you just should probably always use the long link, because I've found on the multi-property squeeze pages, or if you're going to be targeting a county or something like that, there's something funky when they land on the short link from the multi-property, and I'll show you that in a minute. But let's just, for the sake of consistency, since there's really no difference, let's just copy the direct long link to your clipboard. And then when you go to your Facebook business page, you paste that link. And again, Mike, this is what we were talking about. It shows that first photo. And I don't think that there's any way around it from here. Okay. But then you're going to want to remove the link that you put in. And then you're going to want to write something about this property that's going to generate the traffic. Now, again, I'm still, advising folks, if if you're really creative, write your own caption here for your post. However, we do have that tool of OpenAI's Chat GPT. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the property description, copy it so that I'm not plagiarizing their post. I'm going to write it in there, and I'm going to say, generate a Facebook post caption that is engaging and catchy to drive potential buyers to my real estate website using the property description below. Okay. Oh, I forgot to do the one thing that I like doing with this. Bear with me just a moment. I'm going to say, write it again with emojis.
Okay, this crap is just scary. I don't like it at all.
It's insane, isn't it?
I don't. I mean, seriously, have you guys not seen Terminator?
It's coming. Hey, it's here to
This is
stay, Mike. I don't. We either use it and harness it, or we get
no
run over by the T1. Right?
Skynet needs to go down. I mean, this is ridiculous.
I don't know. It wrote me a heck of a bio the other day, so I'll take it.
Yep, I love it. Oh, and so you know what I want them to do? I want them to do it again. Do it again with a call to action to click the photo. Hey, I'm good with that. It's got all the hashtags and everything that optimizes for Facebook's algorithm. Copy that. Boom. Okay. So now I've got a squeeze page, a single property squeeze page posted to my Facebook business page. Now here's where you can boost it if you want to pay for the net to cast out wider than just your Facebook business followers. This is where you'll click on that, and then it'll ask you for some things after you post it. But I'm just going to go ahead and post it without the boost right now. We can always go back and boost it later, by the way. So now I've got a post with a pretty nice photo that might drive some attention over here. Right on my Facebook business page. Looks just like that. Okay. So Facebook algorithm is going to like some of these hashtags. Your followers might like the picture. So what I'm going to do here now is I am going to also turn her back around, because you can see that with my profile here, I've only got like 600 followers, right? It's great. I'd love to be able to get it out to those 600 people, but I also want to get it into the net of all of the people on my personal page, which I've got 4,100 friends here, that I want to be able to get it out to them too. So what I'm going to do is, now that I'm back onto my regular personal page, I'm going to go find my business page. I'm not going to go to it as an admin. I'm just going to go to it as a visitor, as a viewer. I'm going to see this post that I just posted, and then I'm going to share it. And I'm going to share it to my feed. I'm just going to include the original post. And I can either write a little short caption here. In fact, let's do that. I'm going to say, write a one-line call to action with emojis based on this post. Nice and easy. There you go. Oh, hang on a second. Did I just click out of it? There it is. All right. So now I'm going to post that. So now it's in two places. It's on my Facebook business page, and it's now on my personal feed as well. And it hasn't shown up yet, but it'll be there. Okay. So now so what's going to happen is, when somebody goes and visits that link, again, they're going to go over to that listing page. This one, well, actually, it'll be this one. There, it'll be this page. And if they start, interacting with it, they're a lead that's going to show up in your kvCORE, and you can start automating to them or reaching out to them directly. So that is what a single property squeeze page is. You saw the elements that were necessary to put in there, is, to be able to hashtag it properly. And we're trying to generate buyer leads for your CRM. Now, multi-property squeeze page is similar, but instead of just targeting one property, you're trying to drive buyer traffic over based on, let's say, a whole market area. Okay. So I'm going to go into that same portion of kvCORE, lead engine, build a squeeze page. Oh, I'm already here. I'm just going to click over on multi-property. So now the multi-property is either allowing you to use geographical areas, draw on map, or type something like a city, a county, a zip code, or something like that. So there's a zip code that I really like that's nearby where I live. It's 85021. Okay. The listing type, I can say what kind of listing I want it to target. I want single family. You can put more than one though. I think that's good. Condos, single family, townhouses. Good. If I want to specify a price range or any other details about it, I can. Let's say that the minimum square foot I'm looking for is, 1,500. Minimum baths. Well, let's say that we want to go with 2 baths. You can talk about any options, views, pools, things like that that you want to have on here. I do want to go back up and say that it's going to be a Facebook source. That's where I'm going to be posting it. I'm going to say that this is a hashtag that I want to have. It's also buyers. So I'm going to say 85021 buyer. Or anything else that you want to do there. So here's where you can decide what the Facebook cover photo is going to be. Use recent listings from our agency, use low price listings, use high price listings, even if it's outside the search results, or use random listings from your agency, even if outside search results, or use photo from a specific listing. If you found a listing that is going to show up on this search that we're about to do here, you can do that and you can start typing which listing that you want to use the photo from. Okay. So if you happen to know, if I was to go back in here and search my own website here, let's just go in and I'm going to add another page. And I'm going to search my own website for 85021 single families with 2 beds plus. If I wanted to use a picture from one of those listings, I can. Oh, I don't know, that looks pretty nice. I'm just going to steal this image from that. Maybe saying steal is not the best phrase, but let's go ahead and borrow this. All right. I'm going to want them to have to register immediately, and then I'm going to generate the link. So it generates both a long and a short link again. Don't use the short link here. Definitely not on the multi-property squeeze page links, because I don't know why it acts funny when we do that. I'm going to copy that to the clipboard, and this is where they're going to land when they click on it. And the truth is, nobody's going to see the link once you delete it from your post anyway. But this is where they're going to land. They're going to land on a search, 49 homes in the 85021, single family and condos. Essentially, what you've squeezed them to do is you squeeze them into a search that you have custom built for them. Okay? You squeezed them into this search. So again, I'm gonna go back to that link. I'm gonna copy it. I'm going to go back over to my Facebook business page. And I'll just do the same thing here that I just did before. What did I just went into CRG. Give it a second. Okay. Post the link, super long link. I don't want it there anyway. But once it pops the picture in, it's got the picture of the one that I chose. I'm going to get rid of the link. And then in this case, since I'm not talking about a specific house, I could say, again, create a catchy Facebook caption with a call to action using emojis to drive buyer traffic to my real estate website, targeting those looking for homes in Central Phoenix. See what they come up with. Yeah, super short and sweet. I might modify it just a little bit because I don't like exactly what they're saying, but for the sake of being quick about it, I'm just going to go in here and I'll drop this in. Look, with our expert real estate website, I don't like that. Discover the best properties on my website. From charming bungalows to one loss, we've got it all. Click now to find your dream home. Click the photo below now, and I want to put a down arrow from that one. Or if you can do a finger pointing or whatever you want to do down there. I just like the down arrow, directs their attention down. Where is my down arrows? Here we go. There you go. All right. Good enough, right? So I'm going to post that. And now, I mean, I probably wouldn't have done both of these on the same day were it not for the training here, but you know, you've got this post that is driving people to click the link. Single family. I don't like the way it says condos. Oh, single family / condos. Got it. It's just based on my search. In 85021. So again, when they click on this is where they land. Facebook is notifying them that they're going outside of Facebook's realm and taking them to an outside website, and then they get here. So if they click on anything, let's say they like this property. Oh, you know what? The reason it's not asking me to register is because I registered before. It already has me here. So if I was logged out, or if I was, let's see, if I was not a lead at the moment, which of course now I am my own lead. Let me get rid of myself here so that it asks me again. All right, so now I'm no longer in my own database. And so next time I click on one of these things, it's not going to know who I am, and it's going to ask me for a login. Okay, so now we've created a single property and also now a multi-property squeeze page. And again, the reason for the multi-property is that you're going to target a certain area and maybe drive traffic. Maybe you feel like it's easier for you to drive some buyers based on an area than trying to get somebody who's interested in a very specific house, you know? So now you've got the multi-property squeeze page. You've seen what you can do as far as how to post it and how to generate some captions using Chat GPT on that. The next thing is to create a seller squeeze page. So if you want, it's very similar. You know, if you want to create traffic to drive sellers to your website, then you'll do it much in the same way. So what we'll do is we'll go here to kvCORE, build the squeeze page, seller squeeze. You offer an instant market report, same thing, just type Facebook, create a hashtag. Let's just say 85021 seller. Say I want that type of client. I'm just going to go 85021 again. Real simple. I've got that, and I generate the link. I'm going to copy that to the clipboard, and I'll paste it so you can see what it looks like. Find out what your 8502 home one is worth. Now, this is where, you know, maybe using a zip code is not the best idea because you're not going to, you know, what's the chances that somebody who sees this actually selling their home in 85021? So let me change that a little bit. Let's just go to Scottsdale. Generate link. Copy that again. Find out what your Scottsdale home is worth. They enter their address in here. when they hit next. So now Adam, oh, I know why they're not having an estimate on this, because this house is a house that's not built yet. Let me try another address. So this squeeze page, this is what they get. They land here. They would enter their address. Let me just pull up an address that I know exists in Scottsdale. I'll do that by going into my listings, finding company listings. Let's see, Scottsdale. 16215 East Saguaro Vista Drive. 16215. 16215 East Saguaro Vista Drive. There we go. Next. Huh. It says that it's not available for an estimate. Now that's interesting, and I'll have to look into why they're missing that. If I unlock the full report, it's going to ask me to sign in.
So I did the same thing here not too long ago, Dennis, in my particular area.
Same
And
thing?
like it did the exact same thing. Yeah. To like a half a dozen potential clients. And it still went to inside of my kvCORE, but it just gave the address. So then what I did is I created a CMA and I actually went and knocked on their door and I just said, hey, I understand that you were looking for what your home property was worth. It showed on my side that it didn't come through. I just wanted to personally hand it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Here's my business card. And then I left.
Brilliant. Yeah,
So-
yeah, that's perfect. Perfect thing to do. Way to problem solve there.
That's really smart.
Very, very smart. So yeah, I'm gonna check with kvCORE as soon as we get done with the presentation here and seeing what the heck is going on here, because at the very least you should have Adam and Zillow, and I know that those exist because we can go to Zillow and type that address. I'm not a big fan of their valuations. I think that they're usually off, but it's worth noting because I do use it in my let's see. Oh, it's for sale. And let's see, where's this estimate? Ah, isn't that funny? Even Zillow doesn't have one. Or maybe because it's listed for sale, it doesn't have one. That's a good point. Let me try one that's not for sale, because I'm not sure if Zillow has now removed this estimate on for sale homes, because then that may conflict with what the actual listing price is, right? They may be selling above or below what the Zestimate is, and so they may not. Let's see, facts and features, price and tax history. Yeah, it does not have price. Let me try one thing over here too, but really quickly.
So I just pulled up the listing that I'm under contract with right now, and it gave an estimate. It shows it shows what I've got it listed for and theirs.
What's that address so I can look it up here?
3925 South, or just S Plowman, Plowman Drive, Yuma. Right there, top one.
Okay, well, I guess it does. So maybe that's not the reason. Hey, nice listing.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll find out why it's not pulling that data, but ultimately you did the right thing. If they were to land on this page and they say not available, and then they say get my full report, and they put their information in, they're going to become a lead. They're not going to get the information that they thought they got, and you're going to want to be as quick as possible about getting it to them yourself. And we know how to do that. Okay, that's why we're paid the big bucks. So now we've got a seller squeeze page. Market report squeeze page, also pretty similar. You build a market report based on an area. Let's just say Maricopa County. Did I spell that wrong?
Oh, that looks right. There it is.
There it is, Maricopa County. You want it to have the highlight of the county of Maricopa, right? So I do that. I got Maricopa County. Again, Facebook. Hashtag, I could say Maricopa Market Report. And again, these hashtags are really more for your ability to go in and sort or target them in a way that works for you. So you don't have to follow exactly what I'm doing to the letter, but you can figure out how you're going to use these hashtags and then target them accordingly. I'm going to copy that to the clipboard, drop it back in here and see what they are going to see when they land here. And so this is what was weird. If I was to paste the short link in here, it would tell me that I'm looking for a market report on a county that had all of the code. It would be like, you know, a bunch of jumbled up letters and numbers .Arizona as the code. Doing it with the long link, I've actually got Maricopa as the wording here. I'm just going to see if it does what it did before on a different link. I'm going to copy that to the clipboard, paste it in here, and you'll see why I don't recommend using the short link, even though it seems like it would be more convenient. When I did this last night, it said, it didn't say Maricopa. It said gobbledygook.Arizona. Oh, it worked. Okay. Well, you know, whichever you prefer, I guess. I still don't mind using the long listing. And the reason why is because they don't see it anyway. When you post on your page, what you're going to do is you're going to copy either one of these. I'd say it still say use the long one. I'm going to do the long one. You post it in here. You drop it in your post. It disappears. I don't know how to get a better picture than that. I'm not fond of that. That's clearly not in Arizona. Certainly not Maricopa County that I could tell.
Dennis, that looks like one of the stock images that you can screw with in your settings, I think.
You know, you mean on your website, your IDX webpage? So if I go to
like when you're
website
setting up like your
content,
colors, yeah, when you're setting up your color scheme and everything like that, it looks very, very familiar on. I think it's probably pulling it from one of those images.
so interestingly here, I don't know if I have that picture in the rotation of images that I have. I did throw a bunch of Arizona ones in here. I got rid of a bunch of ones that I didn't think would be appropriate for Arizona.
Maybe I'm mistaken, but it really looked familiar.
You might be right, and I'll find out because it does look like some of these pictures that I was like, huh, no thanks.
Yeah.
Let's see, is there any other places where it lets me put pictures? I don't think so, not in there. So it might be one of those pictures that's automatically generated. Let's see. Well, I don't see it, but if it is, I'll let you guys know in a future thing when we're doing some more modifications to the website directly instead of the squeeze pages and landing pages. We got one more to do. We got 10 minutes. It's going to be the landing page. Landing page is cool and it's a little bit different. So we've got a seller squeeze page. We've got a market report squeeze page. The next thing is a landing page. Okay, that's the last one that we can make here. Okay, so let me get back out over here, go to lead engine, build a landing page. Landing page is different because it literally is an actual landing page. It looks like a web page that's meant to capture. So you can determine from this landing page, you're also going to post the link, by the way. You can also determine what you want your hashtag to be, what you want the button down here to actually say. Right now it says see the list now, but it depends on what you want the landing page to do. So do you want it to be lead generation? Do you want it to show a video? And if so, it's going to ask you it tells you the instructions here on how to change this video. You're going to want to, if you have a video on YouTube, let's say I wanted to direct agents to watch my training on kvCORE, you know, let's say I was doing this for, recruitment. Whatever it is, if you have a YouTube video that you want to tag, you'll just go to your YouTube page. You'll go to insert your video YouTube ID up here. and it'll put the video onto this page. You can do with a video and a lead. So they watch the video, and then down here they can put their phone number and email, and you'll get a lead out of it. Okay. What's the lead type? Buyer, seller, renter, agent, vendor, none, right? If you wanted to do, I don't know exactly what the content hijack is, although it probably is very similar to taking them over to whatever website you want to send them to afterwards. So the submit button is, you can tell what you want them to do, take me to what I wanted, and then it'll go to the URL that they want or the URL that you want. And so that's the content hijack. You could say they wanted to go see a property, but you want them to go to your search instead, right? Now, all of this information on here, or most of it anyway, can be modified just by typing into it. So one of the things that I've used, and it seems to have worked out pretty good, is I want to generate leads. I wanted to do a raffle and give away some Starbucks gift cards, right? So I could do Starbucks raffle. And what I did is I created a link. I created a landing page that said, submit your information below and check your property value, your free property valuation, to be entered in a drawing to win a $25 Starbucks gift card that I'm actually doing today. Depending on where you post it and how you post it and how you market that is going to determine how many people actually go through with it. I ended up with about, I think 11 people who submitted, to win their Starbucks gift card, and they did a property search. So out of those 11 people, I now have 11 addresses that I know, even if it was just simply for the fact that they wanted to win a Starbucks card, they gave me their address and put in their information in my CRM. So I have 11 leads out of generating a Starbucks raffle. The submit button, you could say enter raffle now. See, it changed the wording down there. The URL after the login. Well, let's say that I want them to go to my website, right? And I want them to go to, let's say that I want them to just land here and visit my website. You can just copy that text, drop that in here, and that's where they're going to force them to go after they enter my raffle. Okay. I could say that I require their phone number if I want. And then I could start putting information in here. So I could say your info below and your free home valuation. Oops. Enters you into the raffle. All right, something like that. You could play with this. Now, all these can be changed too. If you double click on them, obviously it gets rid of them. So that's not what I originally wanted to do, but you can start over if you really wanted those. But you could say down here, free, no obligation property valuation. And then down here, did your neighbors sell? Curious to see what your home is worth. I'm going to leave that. I like that. Free instant daily weekly updates, because that's actually what I will be sending them. Okay. So and then you can also mess with the pictures in the background. You got a lady, the kitchen, I think for coffee, that might be, oh, something like that. The lead type is going to be a seller. That's that way when they do click on this stuff, kvCORE knows what to plug them in as. Okay, because they're doing a free home valuation. Okay, once I save it, I'm not going to be able to edit. And this is now the landing page. So I'm going to want to copy and paste this link onto my page. Got that image. Your info below and your free home valuation enters you into the raffle. Okay. Again, you can use your own creativity or use your chat GPT to write a catchy post about entering the raffle. And then post. I'm not going to do another one because then it's my business page is going to look real spammy today. If I have 4 posts about all this stuff. But basically when somebody clicks this link, they will land over here. You can tell them whatever information you wanted them to know about here. They fill out their email address and their phone number. And again, they are going to, oh, you know what? I need them to do a home valuation. So what I should have done, and I didn't do, is I didn't drive them to the section of the website that lets them do the home valuation. So let me redo that really quickly, and then we'll be done for the day. Landing page. So what I want them to do is I actually want them to go to my seller page to get a home valuation. I want them to go here. This is the page that I want them to land on. See what your home is worth. So this is the page that I am going to copy into that. Okay. This is where you say enter raffle. I'm not going to do it again, but you get the idea. Hashtag is going to be Starbucks. Raffle. Require the phone number. Seller. Lead generation. Modify this stuff. Modify this stuff. Change it all to say what you want it to say. Get rid of the stuff you don't like. Make it look nice and pretty. And then you will save it. And then that's where you will copy the link. And then when I paste this to Facebook, it's going to say what my page said. In this case, it's Your Town Real Estate Deals. I left it there, but I'm not going to post it. You get the idea. It will say right here what you told it to say right here. Okay. So just be creative with that and go out there and create some leads. And once you've got the leads created, if you haven't already got automation set up for those hashtags, you will be able to just assign those. You'll be able to assign those campaigns that you've created directly to the leads that come in. I mean, hopefully you get so many leads that you're going to need to have them automatically assigned tasks. But if you're coming in 5 and 10 at a time, you can easily just check to see which leads get what. So I got a lead from just what I just typed in right now. That was my own lead. But it's you can see it comes in as a prospective seller. That's what kvCORE decided that it was when somebody entered their address into the search. A prospective seller, and I got their address. Now, of course, if you have only their address and no phone number, it's hard to do much to them or for them, because I didn't go as far as adding any other information like my email address or my phone number. So I've got really nothing to go off of here other than that this seller is interested in what their home is worth. But if I had got this connected to them being able to put in their phone number or even just an email address, I could start sending them out automations. Or you could do what James did and just go knock on this door and say, hey, you asked for a home valuation. There's another way I'll show you really briefly on where to find information about these people. A little bit on the sneakier side of things, but I think it's on the up and up. There's a website called True People Search. All right, when you go to True People Search, you can search by name, by reverse phone number, or by reverse address. Let's say let's say somebody went to visit the site and they didn't leave their name or their phone number. But let's say I wanted to find out who they were. Let's say it was this person, 2539 East Haymore Street. 2539 East Haymore Street. If that Chat GPT didn't freak you out, this will. 2539 East Haymore Street. 2539 East Haymore Street. Okay. Fernanda Torres lives in Gilbert at 2539 East Haymore Street. I've got 4 phone numbers for her now that I can try. I have got 2 email addresses for her that I can try. I know what other names she may have used, know where other addresses she may have lived. And even scarier, I know who might be related to her or who might be associated with her personally. Mike, as law enforcement, does this freak you out?
No, that's been around for kind of forever.
Okay, yeah.
It used to be more paid. You know, we had a paid subscription to kind of have that, and you kind of get a little more information now.
Yeah, you
It
can
is
do
a
that
little
through
weird
some of
that
these
it's-
full background reports. You can pull like credit and criminal history
Yeah.
and all that stuff. You can pay for it, but what you can get for absolutely free on True People Search is pretty cool. And I've used this a lot. Even when I was looking for foreclosure homes, we'd often would find the address of a home that was in foreclosure. This is how we track them down if we wanted to try this first before going knocking on the door. So I got I can call Miss Torres here and see if I say, hey, you were on my website. They may freak out a little bit that they know they didn't give you their phone number and how'd you get it. You're gonna have to get creative about how you answer those questions, but nonetheless. And they may tell you not to call, and of course you have to take them off your list as far as not calling. We have to be compliant with the do not call registry. They ask you not to call, you don't. But you can, certainly plug them into your automations with their email until they opt out or until they engage with it and become an active lead. Okay, so we're about done here, guys. That's all of the automations, or that's all of the landing pages and squeeze pages that you can create using kvCORE to drive some traffic. You guys have any questions?
Yes.
Mike, go for it.
On the multi multi-property squeeze page.
Mm-hmm.
And you may have asked if I had to step off and take a phone call real quick. When you grabbed one of those images, and I imagine it was not an image from EXP listing that you used. Also, obviously, you're grabbing other listings for that page. Is there anything legality wise that we need to ask to make certain that we're okay if we're using? I know out here we're not allowed to use someone else's MLS photo without their permission. I don't know
if you have to do that in your market, Mike, what I would do is use a photo from a specific listing from an agent's listing who you called and asked for permission for. Now, out here in Arizona, we don't have to have that permission. So you can use a recent listing from your agency, even if it's outside the search results. Use a low price listing from your agency, use a high price listing from your agency. So it defaults to using something from your agency.
Okay, I didn't see that. Okay, perfect.
Or what we did in that case is I grabbed a photo from a specific listing, and then you just type the MLS ID.
Okay.
And that was what it used as the cover photo on Facebook.
Okay.
Okay.
Very cool.
All right. Oh, Lisa was asking for 5960 East Phelps Road in Scottsdale.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's just when you were looking to put an address in Scottsdale in. I used to live there, so I was like, hey, do that one.
Who's that? Is that you?
That was my house I grew up in high school.
Oh, do you know who lives there now?
No idea. No, but it was a while ago when you were doing the landing page for something or another and you needed a Scottsdale address.
Oh, I know. I was just going to see if I could tell you who lives there now.
Oh.
And roughly what it's worth. What is this? Oh, I'm a human. There you go. Ricardo Pulido. Yeah, so then if I go to my own market report here and I go to sell, I want to see if it would actually do the same thing with that address. Oh, look, all of a sudden, Saguaro Vista came up with some estimates.
Ooh, Zillow's low. Well, according to the listing.
According to the
That
listing.
listing
Well,
was-
Adam's
listing
even
was
lower.
Yeah, the listing was 1.15.
Right. All right. Well, you guys get the idea. I appreciate you guys taking your time to check this stuff out. The video will be available for review a little bit later today. If you guys need to go back and go through it, it'll be on my YouTube channel. So hit like or subscribe if you haven't already. And I know you guys have got busy days ahead of you, so get on with it and make some money, guys.